All right, welcome in Libras. This is your 2026 yearly forecast. So we're looking ahead to see what next year is going to bring for you. Get some information and guidance or whatever needs to come up that can best help you on your highest path, help you, is for your highest good. So welcome in. So let's see here. There's just a couple things I wanted to hit from an astrological perspective because we're going to hit that in the reading a little bit. But the three, there's a couple things here. I'm going to try and make it short because the readings have been kind of getting long. Let's see here. So we have these... Some of the bigger outer planets are going to finally be solidifying into their new signs in 2026. So we do have Neptune is moving into Aries in January. Neptune has been in Pisces since 2011. So it's been a long time. So these are things that you do want to take a look at. And look at the last since 2011 and kind of see kind of what has happened in your life. Has there been some themes? What happened? Again, kind of looking back to kind of, put the pieces together, look at lessons, look at like what came out of that. Because every, kind of run, a planet in a sign is going to show up differently for every sign. So kind of take a look at where... what house that impacted for you in your birth chart, and that will give you more of like, oh yeah, I see. So that's a big one. We also have, let's see, Uranus moving into Gemini on April 25th. So that is another big one. Uranus has been in Taurus since 2019. So again, same thing, what's happened since 2019. And Uranus really is about, that is the planet of like revolution, of liberation, freedom. It's rebellious. It kind of flies in and kind of likes to, everything it does is positive, but sometimes it can seem like, oh my God, it can seem a bit destructive. But the point is, it's really clearing out anything that isn't for our highest good anymore. And it's moving into Gemini. So Uranus and Taurus kind of aren't great energies together, but Uranus and Gemini is going to be better. And I'm just kind of reading here. Sorry. So really what this is bringing for all of us is it's really going to be a turning point for the collective and us as individuals in regards to how we think, how we speak, how we connect, and also how we learn. So a lot about education here, because all that is very Gemini. So we're going to see a lot of changes there. And then I wanted to check here, because Saturn will also move signs next year. So I'm just trying to, I'm trying to confirm the date. Sorry, I didn't write that down. Let me just check here. Okay, so Saturn will move into Aries on February 13th. So we do have a lot of air and fire energy that's going to be moving in. The last thing I wanted to talk about is this is the big one, and I'm going to be pulling some cards on this, but this is the Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries. This is going to be on February 20th. And this is literally, this is something that hasn't happened in like thousands of years. So this is going to be, what this really signifies is a complete and utter restart and reset. So this is going, you know, we have Saturn, which is about collapsing anything that is not working. Saturn is the karmic sign, and it's really going to collapse institutions, organizations, anything, even in our individual lives that really are not supportive. They're not solid foundations for what we need to build upon moving forward. And then we have Neptune, which is about dissolving anything that is creating disillusionment, deception, really getting clear on what is our true dreams, what is it that we really want in our lives. And so anything in the collective, we're going to see a lot of stuff coming up that's been hidden. And that's again in February. So we're going to hit all this big stuff here. So let's go ahead and get started. Libras. So first I'm going to pull 2 oracles around that Saturn-Neptune conjunction and how that's going to impact you. So we have Stillness, the Zen Monastery in Japan, and then we have the Angel of Strength. So I'm going to pull some tarot then for that too here first before I start reading. So we have the Hierophant, the Ace of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. I've been saying this to everyone because it's been, I think it's almost been every single reading. When I've pulled cards for this Neptune-Saturn conjunction, everyone has gotten aces, which is, I mean, totally in line with the restart, reset. Then I'm going to pull 2 cards for just general themes here. So we have flexibility and door to value. And I'm going to pull one more for general victory. And then the next 2 next 2 lines are going to be like general information for 2026. So we have 3 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, and 10 of Swords. 9 of Cups, Page of Swords, and Queen of Swords. All right. So as far as this, again, this is February 20th. So this is going to be around that period of time and how this is going to impact you. But I definitely feel there is something about finding the stillness within the internal self. If you feel like you got a lot of chaos going on within your, within your own being, this is going to be a time that it's going to ask you to really connect and really find and work through anything that's not aligned with your stillness and your peace. It's going to take a lot of strength, but I feel like there's courage here as well that you're being asked to face something that's going to come up for you. I do feel like it's tied to the Hierophant here. So this is about traditional ideas and belief systems. This is also tied to the old, right? We talked about Saturn coming in, and if there's any ties, energetic ties that you have still really hardcore to old, wanting kind of to, maybe you have a life that's too traditional, and it just doesn't align with you anymore. But this can also be about belief systems that aren't serving you anymore. And it's time to we have to innovate. We have to reprogram our beliefs and align our beliefs with the current energies and what we want to bring in moving forward. So that, I feel like for you guys, for some reason, Libras, it's going to be a lot to try and face these things and work through them, because for some reason I'm feeling these like really strong roots tied to like old stuff that needs to shift here. But you're going to get a lot of clarity around yourself, around your life, and where you want to go, the path ahead. I also feel like there's some truths that are going to be coming out. You're going to get some information as well that's going to help you. For some of you, I'm picking up, because the Hierophant can also be around a teacher or mentor. You could come across someone that's going to cross your path that's really going to help you as well to work through this stuff. And they're going to give you a lot of great information that's going to change your life. You're going to have some major enlightenment going on because of the new learning, the new awareness that you're receiving. And there's definitely about learning some sort of things around what it means to give and receive. So if you feel like, there's some imbalance in regards to your life about giving and receiving and the equitability of that. And also, like, you can't manifest or receive stuff if you're not putting the energy out there. And this ranges across our lives. I mean, this ranges about how we treat ourselves, how we treat our family. What are we giving to the people in our lives? Or are we always taking? Or are we around people who are just takers? So this is about creating some sort of balance in your life in new ways so that you can start receiving more, but also you have the ability to give more of yourself and give more of your resources. So that's, again, new energy, aces here. So that's that Saturn-Neptune conjunction. So let's move into the general for 2026. So we have the flexibility card, door to value, and victory. So for some reason, there's a theme here for you. You're going to be asked to be flexible next year. I do feel like there's going to be changes that's going to take you down paths that maybe you were like, didn't expect. Things could come up unexpectedly, very spontaneously, and again, asking you to like take risks and be flexible. Because I do feel like they're energetically, it's like opening up any shut doors that have been blocking you from wealth, from abundance, from things that you consider to be valuable in your life. But I feel like more of that's going to be coming in. And overall here, I feel like success and victory is a key thing for 2026 for Libras. I do feel like you're going to find success next year. I think also if you feel like you've been dealing with something throughout your life, especially in 2025, I think you're going to overcome that. And find new ways of doing things. I'm hearing like you're creating new ideas and new ways of doing things. And maybe you are too stuck in this mindset of like, well, I have to do things that are traditional, or I have to do things a certain way to earn wealth. But now it's like you're going to start building wealth based on new ways of thinking, approaching things, new sorts of work. I feel like there's a lot of expansion here for you with the Three of Wands. You're like going out into the world and really expanding yourself. I feel like a lot of things are going to produce a lot of great results for you. This could be investments. I feel like you're going to really be this year, it's about really being really picky about what you're putting your time, your focus, your energy, your money into. Because I'm going to clarify this Ten of Swords here, because definitely I feel like something is ending, but I almost feel like what's ending is a patterns or ways you were doing things in the past. And you're going to end the old, the traditional, the routine, and you're going to be doing something really new and fresh. And whatever this is ending is, it's going to give you a lot of clarity around the direction you're going, the path you're going to take, and you're going to have a lot of new goals and ideas here. So you got a lot of sword energy here, which is very Gemini. Libra, you're also an air sign, so that makes sense. And then you have that Uranus moving into Gemini. So I feel like that is going to just bring in with it all this new like new ideas. I think you're going to like, there's going to be a lot around communication with you, communicating new things, putting your word out there. People are going to want to hear what you have to say. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of good things that are going to come from 2026. I feel like you're going to get a lot of what you've always wanted with this Nine of Cups. All right, took a little cutout here. Got to turn some more lights on. It was getting too dark. So I was talking about these swords and this information here. One thing that I also got when I was first starting the reading, what I was picking up intuitively is I feel like this is a year around using your voice and your throat chakra and communication. I feel like you're going to be using, especially with Uranus moving into Gemini, I think you're going to use a lot of new innovative ways to connect to people and put yourself out there. And I think it's through your voice. And that could be through writing. It could be, speaking. But with the Page of Swords, the Page of Swords can represent like communicating through technology, like email, social media, blog, writing, putting more writings out online, something like that. So I do feel like there's something that you're going to be utilizing a method to speak and communicate. And I think throughout the year, you're really going to elevate up, right? Like you're starting out doing this. And then by the end of the year, I really feel like you've like elevated, promoted into the Queen of Swords, where people see you as a great source of information, or they go to you to read your stuff, or really see you as someone that, has good ideas or information again. They want to read your stuff or listen to you. And this is something that you've been kind of really dreaming about or really wanted. And you are going to get that next year. You're going to get something that you really wanted. All right, let's do some clarifiers here. So for the Hierophant, I got the Hanged Man. So that's exactly what I was talking about with the Hanged Man, the Hierophant. This is about you having some sort of distorted perspective on things and being stuck in some area of your life. And it really is tied to this old stuff. And I think there's going to be some enlightenment for you this year where you really gain, like, you go through some enlightenment period and your consciousness opens up and you start to see things in a new way. And you're seeing through the filter of the old and realizing like, oh, yeah, now I'm realizing like, and it's going to shift how you do things and how you see things. Ace of Swords, we have the Nine of Cups. So getting a lot of clarity and information and also honing in on what you really want here. So I think this Ace of Swords is also cutting out anything that's not serving you and making some big changes here, but that's really going to align you better with and bring in more Nine of Cups stuff, which is stuff you want. Six of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Temperance, and the Death card. So this is a year about creating balance in your life. So the Knight of Pentacles can be a little bit too, just like day-to-day routine. This is like the slow eddy, guys. So I feel like you've tried to really hone in on certain ways of doing things, approaching life, very detailed, a little too A-type here, because actually I feel like that way of living has kind of slowed your progress, actually. So it's like getting out of this like same old, which is again, like, I feel like what the universe is asking of you, Libras, this year is about how can you change and innovate your life, your perspective, how you do things. And you have a lot of divine support that's wanting you to know that they're helping you here. And in this card too, you have the Sun and the Moon. And again, there's this whole balance of needing the polarity and needing differences and needing a balance here with the Six of Pentacles. And I do feel like you're going to go, this is a year of major transformation for you. And I almost feel like potentially by the end of the year, you're going to kind of, your life's going to look different. You're going to look different. Like it's just more of who you are and how you show up in the world is going to be different. All right, let's see here. I'm going to do one for the Three of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. So we have the High Priestess. So this is you really getting in touch. I feel like that you're going to connect more and expand in regards to connecting to your higher self, to the divine. And this is, again, going back to like, you're not doing things the way that you've always been taught to do it, whether it's by your family, by, you know, religions, by leaders in the world. You've always looked to the external world to tell you about how you should do things to be successful or to be a better person or to be enlightened. But in reality, all the information you need, Libra, is within yourself. And I feel, again, this is the huge transformation this year, is where you kind of stop looking externally for all your information and how to live your life, and you go more inside. And you're going to get a lot more intuitive hits and guidance from the divine. And that's where you're going to listen and take those synchronicities. And that's where you need to, where you're going to get your answers. And that's going to help you expand and tell you what path to go down, where you need to invest your time, money, and attention in. That's going to really be for your highest good. I'm going to get one more here. The Hierophant, yeah. So what I love about this deck, the Hierophant is very traditional, where in this deck, the Hierophant is actually the universal wisdom here. The tree of life, the energy of the cosmos. So now you're looking to the divine truth, divine information and guidance, rather, again, than looking externally. And this is what's going to really change your life. This Ten of Swords. So let's see. We have the Eight of Wands, Queen of Cups, and I'm going to pull one more. Three of Wands. So this is actually coming out as love. There's a person here. So I do feel like you had some sort of relationship. There was an ending of a relationship that really took you through the ringer, I feel. But this year, I feel like love's coming in, a new love. So this is you waiting and this person coming in. And that's the Queen of Wands here. So this could be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Or it could just be someone who's really emotionally open and connected. Someone who's very spiritual. But yeah, the Eight of Wands can be about Cupid's arrows. So I do feel like this is love coming in 2026 for you. Let's get one more here. Two of Wands. Yeah. So love this, Libra. So these two cards, if you've watched my channel, you know that if I get the Two and the Three of Wands together, the Two of Wands is about you putting out your wish or your intention here, and the Three of Wands is finally getting your wish or finally like manifesting what you wanted. So I do feel like you really wanted love or relationship, and this is you bringing it in. So again, this is going to be for those of you who are looking for love or single. For some of you, you could have a big ending of a long-term relationship next year, but it's because that this person, there's a soulmate that wants to come in. So I do feel like there's an ending, and by the end of the year, there's going to be someone new. All right, let's go to the next row here. So we have the Nine of Cups. Ten of Cups, look at that. Whoa, I mean, you can't get any better than the Nine and Ten of Cups. So again, this is kind of like a year of everything coming together for you. That's love. This is abundance. This is like, you know, happiness, success. I mean, the Ten of Cups is all of it. So I don't think I need to say anything else about that. I mean, that's great. Page of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Emperor. And then the King of Swords, and I have to grab this. We have the Ten of Pentacles, of course, Libras. Yeah, whatever you're kind of, this new path, right? Putting yourself out there, communication. I do feel like you're really going to grow and like elevate up into some sort of leader, or just, again, someone who, they really look at you as someone who's, a leader in your field or in what you're doing. And whatever you're putting out, I do feel like it's a year of like a big harvest for you. I do feel like you've been trying to sow the seeds for some time and to grow some sort of success or abundance, or just, you know, and it's finally going to come in 2026. And look at this. This is also money here with the Ten of Pentacles and family. And then we have the King and Queen of Swords here. So there's a lot of like, this is like a meeting of the minds with these two together. So you could be collaborating or working with people. This could also be love as well, where you're working together. But I do feel like you're attracting other people here, and you're really working together and like getting new information out. There's a lot around intellectual compatibility here, and just like people that are aligned with how you think, and you have the same kind of values and vibe here. All right, Libras. I mean, this is one of the best readings of 2026 here, so I'm excited for you guys. If you want to continue with me, click on the link below in the description to the extended, and we'll dive deeper into this love situation and see what's going on there, and get more around work and career, and see how that shapes up. All right, and if you're not, otherwise, you guys have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know what's happening for you guys in the comments and what you're looking forward to 2026. Otherwise, I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.